Hello and welcome to FOURIE Rugby on FOREVER Sports. For today's preview, Stormers versus Munster, URC Grand Final time. And the two teams have been announced for tomorrow's fixture. It will take place at the DHL Stadium, kick off at 6:30. Can the Stormers go back to back? Can the Munster win the competition for the first time since 2011? And a bit of spice to sort of the match. Obviously, that video about the Stormers celebrating, getting the home final in that sort of very controversial video that was leaked. John Dobson has responded to that. Munster have also spoken about it, trying to sort of play it down, but there's no doubt that it'll definitely be sort of a part of the whole sort of match tomorrow. And it should be an absolutely epic encounter. And 5,000, we'll be having about 2 to 5,000 Munster fans have travelled down to South Africa for the game. It is sold out. It's said to be the biggest URC crowd ever. Which should be very, very cool. But before we look at the two teams, please do smash like on the video. Please do subscribe to the channel as well. This is how the Stormers do start. A very interesting selection, especially on the back of John Dobson's press conference. So if you look at the squad, Stephen Kittel, Joseph Blair, Frans Moherba, Ruben van Heerden, Marvin ORIE comes in at lock, and Dion FOURIE does also start. So those two players coming in. Chiva Daimani is kept into the team. There was apparently a bit of a selection debate between him and Ben Jason Dixon. And they did decide to go with Daimani because he can just sort of create, try-scoring moments, from the get-go. And especially, we're talking about sort of finishing, starting strong. He's a player that can start very strong. So that is why he's gotten the nod there. Then Evan Roos at an eighth man. Herschel Yankees partners, Monty Liebach, Leon Zas, Dan Duplessis, Ruan Nel, Angela Davids, Damian Willems. That's an unchanged backline from the team that beat Connacht 2 weeks ago. Off the bench, JJ Kotze, Ali Vermaak, Lieutenant Bashir, Ben Jason Dixon, Billy Engelbrecht, Marcel Tennyson, Paul de Wet, and Clayton Blommekeith. A 6-2 split. Very interestingly, John Dobson spoke about the fact that they weren't going to go a 6-2 split. They were looking at a 5-3 split. And he said that it was purely an emotional decision, saying that they can't leave out Billy Engelbrecht and Marcel Tennyson, who have been such a big part of the campaign, at this sort of stage of the competition. So they said that maybe practically a 5-3 split would have been actually a better option and would have made more sense. But deciding from an emotional point of view, and that's sort of what squad's all about. It's about rewarding players who played well. It's about, doing what's best for the squad. It's just apparently in that regard, that was the decision made from a 6-2 versus a 5-3 split. So it's very interesting sort of to very blatantly says, and we'll probably get criticized for that, and maybe it's the wrong call, but we're sticking to our principles. So it's an interesting decision to maybe not make a rugby decision, but an emotional one for such a big game where often people sit there say, you have to take emotion out of it. You just have to make the best decision for the team on the day. But I think them weighing up, sort of saying that it's about sticking to the principles that have got you, than necessarily naming the best team for the day. So it's an interesting sort of take on the whole situation. In terms of Munster, also a couple of big decisions that they have made, and they've gone with a very similar, gone with the same pack really that beat Leinster a couple of weeks ago. So Jeremy Lauman, Diamond Byron, and Stephen Archer do start. John Klein and Ty Byrne continue as the lock pairing. Snyman does return, but only on the bench. Peter O'Mahony, John Hodnett, Gavin Coombs, the loose show. Peter O'Mahony will obviously captain this side. You think Conor Murray comes into the starting lineup. He does play Craig Casey. He was absolutely superb against Leinster. So expect to see at least 30 or 35 minutes from him in the second half, I reckon. Jack Crowley, who slotted that drop goal, does start in number 10 as well. So it's a new half-back pairing. Shane Daly, Calvin Nash are the two wings. Malachi Fikitoa comes back and into the centres there. So start Antoine Frisch outside and Mike Haley at full back. Off the bench, Niall Scannell, Josh Wycherley, Romain Solano, Archie Stamen, Alice Kendall, Craig Casey, Ben Healy, and Keith Earls. Rounds up the rest of that bench there. Two very good sides. And in terms of sort of matchups, I think for me, I'm very keen to see sort of Peter O'Mahony, match up against, your Daimani, Evan Lewis, for example. Gavin Coombs, a very solid player. Ty Byrne was absolutely tremendous in that semi-final against Leinster. So I think he's going to be a huge part of Munster tomorrow. I'm very keen to see how Conor Murray goes, for example. I was very interested to see if they were going to start him or if they were going to continue with Craig Casey, given how well he played against Leicester. I thought he was brilliant. And to be honest, I think that Craig Casey is very much going to be the second choice scrum off in the World Cup for Ireland. I'm very, very impressed with what I've seen from him. But then, you need a big star to step up. So you need Fikitoa to have a great game. Him versus Dan Duplessis, for me, is one of the best matchups of the day. I'm very excited to see how that goes. And then battle of the benches, I suppose. Who's got sort of more firepower? If it's a close game and benches coming on in the last sort of 10 to 15 minutes to win the game. An Archie Stamen, Craig Casey, for example, Keith Earls, a Munster veteran who will have the mettle to be able to sort of create that moment to potentially not only win the match, but with it win the entire competition. The URC Grand Final tomorrow, it's 6:30. We will be live for it. Do come and join me. Please do smash like on the video. Please do subscribe to the channel as well. Thank you very much for watching. My name is Steven, and I'll chat to you soon.